I hope you all are enjoying your lunch. We know that folks have been anxious, even as we've structured a lot of time over the course of the past 2 days for folks to have a chance to talk to each other. We knew that you probably wouldn't mind a little bit extra time to do so, so I hope you've been able to enjoy some of the catching up with each other over lunch. I hope you had a good meal. I'd like to give some thanks first to the members of Unite Here Local 25 who have been serving us for the past couple days. And thanks for the Hilton Hotel as well. Is Kimo Kippen here? Kimo, thank you for being here. Kimo, I think I need help. Evidently, folks hit the bar pretty hard last night. I got quite a bill this morning. Thank you all for all of that. We are here now to start to talk to our partners in the federal agencies about how it is that we take a lot of the things that we've been discussing over the past 2 days to try to start to move some of those things forward, reflecting on what we've learned and reflecting on where it is that we think we could be working together as a field in public-private partnerships to drastically expand the number of students and workers and companies that are part of this new apprenticeship movement that you all are helping to build. But I want to first let you know that, unfortunately, although we're going to be able to have conversations with staff from the Departments of Labor and Education and Commerce and HHS and Agriculture and Transportation, unfortunately, Secretary Acosta from the Department of Labor, our Labor Secretary, newly confirmed Labor Secretary, unfortunately is not going to be able to join us this afternoon. But we're looking greatly forward to talking to him as well as to Secretary DeVos and Secretary Ross from the Department of Commerce, all of whom are very much interested in this issue, all of whom want to continue to have conversations with us, and we'll make sure that we will let you know as those conversations continue. But I want to give all of you a chance, now that you've had a chance to be in conversation with each other. We've got a couple mics in the room. Some reflections from you all as you think back over the past 24 hours or so. What we're trying to take from this event is, what is it that we've learned? What are some of the challenges that we're continuing to grapple with, both as a field and where it is that we could be working more effectively with our state and federal policymakers? And what are some things that you would like to see moving forward into the future on behalf of the apprenticeship movement? And I want to give folks, anybody who has a chance, I've got a couple of mics out, and if you want to have some thoughts about that, please raise your hand and share it with the rest of the crowd here. You know, folks have not been quiet during any of the discussion groups, so now's not the time to hold back. Any thoughts or reflections on conversations that you've been part of for the past day and a half?
Oh.
Up, right up here. Kimo.
Good afternoon. My name's Kimo with Hilton.
Kimo, why don't you stand up so we can see you? Everybody can see where you are.
Great. Good afternoon. My name is Kimo with Hilton. And I really want to say thank you. It has been this has been a wonderful experience. Just the right people and the right convening. I would love to see more employers here, and that would be wonderful. And yet, I think, so to ask the question, it's just how do we just continue to make it simpler, faster, easy? I will share that, we are one of the few that have received a national contract with the Department of Labor Office of Apprentices, which we're terribly, terribly grateful for. And the role that the intermediaries play is so critical, and that's one of the things I've really learned. And that is, through our partnership with JFF and the American Hospitality Lodging Association and the National Restaurant Association, it's how do we bring those groups together to make that magic kind of happen. And so we're looking for more of that, and yet at the same time, it's like, how do we make it simple, faster, easy to do, because it is rather intensive, and we're just not staffed for that.
Mm-hmm. Great point, and I've heard that said in a lot of different ways over the past day or so. Other thoughts? Up here.
Hi, I'm Susie Levine, former U.S. Ambassador to Switzerland and Liechtenstein. Raise your hand if you've ever seen a field of sunflowers. In fact, it looks like that. Thank you. The field of sunflowers are usually pointing in the same direction towards the sunshine, right? And it's so beautiful, it takes your breath away, and you realize, why Van Gogh was so inspired. What I'm hearing from so many folks is what we need is alignment. It's like the sunflowers are all pointing in different directions right now. And this conference is a little bit of sunshine peeking up, and everybody's realizing, oh, that's the direction that we need to go. Having seen the Swiss model for the past 2.5 years, my husband and I got deeply steeped in it. What I want to do, and you're absolutely right, Kimo, that we need more employers in here, because this is going to take time and patience. And we are, unfortunately, a society that's become used to what I call microwave time. And when things are done solely by government, that means they're in 2- and 4-year cycles. And so what I want to encourage everybody to do is to know that, yes, that alignment is really critical on a state-by-state basis, and then on a regional basis, and then on a national basis. Our sunflowers will ultimately be pointing in the same direction, but we have to also recognize that it will take some time. And the employers who are not looking at 2- and 4-year cycles, but are looking at 5- and 10- and 15- and 20-year plans, are the ones who need to invest most deeply into this. And they have the most to gain. It is not altruism. It is fiduciary responsibility. And this is not a social responsibility activity. It's something that for the well-being of our economy and all of our people. So you all are the amazing seeds of these sunflowers, and it's so exciting to see what you're doing. Thank you so much for your dedication to it.
Excellent. Thanks, Susie. Someone back here. Yes.
Thank you. Amy Jarnigan with Wells Fargo, and many of you I've had an opportunity to talk with are likely familiar with Wells Fargo going to launch a national program starting this summer, and we're very excited about it. So we've talked about inviting other industries in, and we're a huge advocate for that. And I would just offer, as a large national organization, we face many barriers in this space. So I want to quantify a few numbers for you to help you understand what some of the challenges are that we're facing. And any of you that are part of a SAC state, please listen carefully. So we applied to be a part of a national apprenticeship program, and we thought we had done everything we needed to do. And we were ready to launch with 50 people in a pilot program, which is a huge pilot. And at this conference, we learned we now have to submit 28 more applications, not just to states that are SAC states. We also have to apply to each individual state for the Department of Veterans Affairs to allow veterans to participate, which is what our program is targeted to. So that is 78 applications. Now, you want business to play? Small businesses are going to have a hard time with this as well. Big business is going to be the catalyst to help you launch your small businesses and be the great example in helping them understand it and help you with the cost barriers that the small businesses have. I did hear from, another state that said, well, we can, by being a SAC state, we can actually help our small businesses, and we're more flexible, and we can help them launch their insurance program. And I would argue that Aon and Zurich have already done that, and you could just use the training that they provided and launch it. Many states are facing graduation challenges. We're very fortunate in the state of Iowa to have a 93% graduation rate from our high schools, and we are not the white state that everybody thinks we are. We speak over 100 languages in our schools just in central Iowa. And so we have a lot of diversity there, and we have the need for this type of programming. The state has just figured out that we need alternative educational means, and this is a fabulous alternative education means. And some of our states, one of my friends from Florida was educating me on this. I can't launch in Florida unless I have a program manager in Florida, and unless I participate in their college intermediary program. I have to launch with a college. I don't want to do that. I have my own training internally with Wells Fargo. We think we have a great program. And why would I want to tap into your state resource funds when it could be so better leveraged by your small business and let them have the money so they can launch their programs and let the big companies take care of their own stuff financially? Those are the kinds of barriers that we really need to overcome, so that if we want more business in here, you want to invite more people in, That's what's going to get folks in the door. So for those of you that are SAC states, please take that information back to your states and think about how we can play along. And if you are a SAC state, I need to talk to you because we need to apply.
All right, thank you. Down here in front.
My name's Allison Allgaier. I am the president of a small manufacturing company in Illinois, and this has been thank you. This has been incredibly stimulating and thought-provoking, way more than I thought it would be. I was a somewhat reluctant participant. I came because I owed someone a favor. But it's made me think a lot, and one of my takeaways is actually that when I'm hiring people, I need to not be having jobs for hire, but I need to be presenting it as a career path with some training and development and things like that. And so it's really broadened my thinking in that. And then another takeaway is there's a lot of people out there and organizations and entities and intermediaries and all these new words I've learned that can help me that I didn't know about. So I would say seek out small businesses because they don't know they need you. Help them work through their, what are they, the workforce development groups, boards, those. But there's also, we have a county economic development group, chambers of commerce, other people that you can get access to employers and who can bring those people together who have some credibility. So get them on board, and I think group us together, help us out, and we can do it together.
Excellent, thank you. Obviously, a key theme from all of us and what we wanted to happen, which I think we've achieved, is people are meeting people who they can see as a resource, whether it's from within their own industry or whether it's folks who are working with some of the same student and worker populations that you may be working with as you're trying to create new apprenticeship opportunities. And in a little bit, Mary Alice McCarthy from New America is going to talk about how it is that we're going to try to stay in touch with you for the foreseeable future, so in ways that we hope that will help those connections continue to be made. But I want to take a moment now to turn the podium over to one of the other folks who has been instrumental in pulling this event together. For many folks who have been working in the apprenticeship field, Bob Lerman is no stranger. Folks probably know that Bob's a fellow at the Center of Labor, Human Services, and Population at the Urban Institute. He's also a professor of economics at the American University. Or, if you've been working in this field for a while, you probably know that Bob's just a guy that in every meeting got up and talked about apprenticeship. Long before anybody else was talking about apprenticeship, certainly in this town. In many ways, Bob is kind of the grandfather of the modern era of apprenticeship conversation in Washington, D.C. And we couldn't think of it now that the rest of us have caught up to Bob's vision of where he was decades ago. We couldn't think of it as a better person to kind of close out his reflections on where he sees this moving forward than Bob Lerman. So I want to bring Bob up for some closing remarks.